Hey guys, Chris from ProvoBeast Audio Installation, and in today's video we're going to be unboxing and demoing the Sony XAV-AX5500. Now in this unboxing, not only are we going to pull it apart to show you the accessories it comes with and the unit itself, but we're also going to boot it up so you can experience the user interface. Let's get started. Alright, so as we jump into things here, a couple of things to point out here on the box. What Sony loves to advertise about this, not only does it have Apple Carplay and Android Auto, but also advertises that it has the Sony Weblink, and we'll get into that a little bit more in a bit. So, other things to point out here on the box, it has 3 sets of outs for external amplifiers, all rated at 5 volts, which is actually pretty cool, and also has 2 rear USB inputs. Power output, it does say 55 watts by 4, but that's always peak power. RMS power is about 20 watts RMS on this unit. Without further ado, let's tear into this box. Starting off, we have a really nice user manual here and warranty card. This unit does come with a remote. Right here on top, the first thing that we see is our radio itself. Got a USB cable and extension, our power harness, our steering wheel control harness, a Bluetooth microphone, mounting hardware, some single-sided felt tape here. Across the bottom, we got a home button, we got your volume up, volume down, track forward and track back, and a option button with a voice recognition as a double feature. Same thing on this side, if we hold down the home button, the secondary feature is going to be attenuation. Looking off to the side here, it is a single DIN chassis platform. It's a little bit more of a shallow mount. It's not the full depth of a traditional double DIN, and the reasoning is it doesn't have a CD or DVD drive. So this will have a lot of applications, but it is still the face of a double DIN radio, so you'll still need traditionally a double DIN kit. Alright, so looking here on the back, but starting on the left hand side, we have our AM/FM Motorola antenna input, we have our pre-outs and our video input. Starting here on the top left, we have our subwoofer output, it's just a mono out. And then we have 2 sets of front and rear channels of output for external amplifiers. Again, these are 5 volt pre-outs, which is very convenient. This yellow one here is our backup camera image input. We have a mic input here. It's a 3.5 millimeter, kind of looks like an aux, but it's a mic input. Just below that is our WR steering wheel control input. Whether you use the included adapter, if you have analog controls, you can just wire that up directly, or if you have digital controls, your steering wheel control module will need to go in that place. We have a nice aluminum heatsink here, and then here on the right hand side we have our main power harness input with onboard 10 amp fuse. The nice thing is this is also XM radio ready. If you want Sirius XM, you need to use the add-on tuner, which we can throw there up on the screen and link it down in the description. Zooming out just a hair, let's look at our USB cables here. We have one on the left and one on the right here. The one on the left is our USB 2, and essentially it's just for playing music. We're not going to do Apple Carplay or Android Auto through it. It's just a secondary one where you can use essentially for charge, or if you want to hook a thumb drive and throw it in there, that's really all that one's intended for. Your USB port 1 is your smartphone connection, where essentially through this USB you'll control Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then finally we have our nice power harness here. With our power harness we have our constant 12 volt ground accessory or turn on wire here, ignition. Orange is going to be your illumination here. Reverse in is purple white. This is your remote turn on for external amplifiers, is your blue white. Then you have your sets of speakers connections here. White's front left, gray's front right, green's rear left, and purples are rear right. Each one of those sets has a black wire, which is going to be your negative, and finally you have a parking brake wire. There are some features and playback options for the radio, and if you don't hook this on up, it won't display on the radio. Alright, so let's go ahead and simulate turning on the unit for the first time. Alright, here's our boot up here. Now we have the option to go ahead and select our language, turn on and off the demo, and set the time as needed. We'll hit OK, hit close there, and here's our main interface. In the last couple of years, this has been the style of interface that Sony has chosen to use, where you have your basic icons here at the bottom and you can swipe left and right to access all those different icons. We do have a radio here. You have multiple bands of presets here. Seek back, seek forward, and you have some options here on the right hand side to adjust your radio itself. And this is just standard radio. It does not have HD radio, but that is your main radio screen there. Next one's going to be Sirius XM. Obviously we don't have a tuner connected, and it's telling us that we don't. But again, you can use that add-on tuner as mentioned before, and we can link that in the description. Next thing is Bluetooth audio. So if you go ahead and go to your phone settings, you can certainly, under those phone settings, look for this unit model number in your available Bluetooth devices. Here in the settings here, you can turn your Bluetooth on and off. This is how you're going to pair your phone to the device. Through that connection, it's also going to establish using the Bluetooth phone feature, not only for music streaming. Once you've connected your device over Bluetooth, you can stream any audio from your phone. It doesn't have to be music, it can be any audio. So next one here, we got our USB port 1. Obviously, we don't have anything connected at this point, but you can stream audio and video. As you notice, it does say USB port 1. So this specifically, this icon is for that specific USB port 1. This is USB port 2. Again, 1 is going to be for your smartphone features. 2 is simply for audio over a USB port or charge. Then you have access to a camera. Now the benefit of this feature is if you wire your camera to accessories, so it's technically on when the vehicle is running, only can you see it in reverse, but you can also call upon it at any time to display that camera in case you want to check on what's behind you, whether it be in a truck towing a trailer, check on the load that you're pulling. And finally, we have our main settings here. So under our main settings, we have general, sound, visual, and Bluetooth, which are 4 main categories. Under general, again, you can adjust the initial settings that you saw at the beginning, turn your beep on or off. You can go in to adjust your rear view camera. You can also adjust the guidelines here, which is pretty cool. Go ahead and hit back. We'll go into our sound, extra bass. This is like a bass boost, if you could say. A lot of the time when you add this, it may add distortion into your audio, so just be careful if you want to use the extra bass that your speakers can handle it. We'll hit back there. You got your 10-band equalizer and subwoofer gain control right here on the unit. It does have some presets, just depending on the style of music you like to listen to, and you can adjust the gain of your subwoofer right here on the unit. We'll hit back. Balance fader. Traditionally, you can set the balance and fader like normal. Crossover, this is great. You can set a high pass, low pass, and phase of the subwoofer. And that is it for our sound settings. We're going to go to visual. You got your wallpaper here. You can change to various different wallpapers. You can also import and add your own from a USB device. You got your dimmer and monitor illumination. You can go ahead and set the dimmer, or you can set it as off. You can also go into that dimmer level setting. And then finally, illumination level for the monitor. We got Bluetooth here, Bluetooth on, Bluetooth off. And from device information if we had one connected, and finally your reset. Now we've connected our test iPhone to the Sony radio using a USB cable to the USB 1 port on the radio. Now what that's done is it's actually converted our app here in the corner to Weblink, and now CarPlay is also available. Android Auto would also show there if you plugged in your Android phone. Now, Android Auto or Apple Carplay are wired connections only, as they are not available over wireless. Looking into Apple CarPlay, there's our main apps. There's quite a few apps available from the Apple Store that are available through CarPlay. If we go ahead and hit home though, it takes us right back to the main screen. Now, looking a little bit closer here, this Weblink app essentially here requires you to download the Sony Weblink app. When you click on the Sony Weblink app there, what it's going to do is boot up another screen, which allows you access to other apps such as YouTube, audio on your phone, video on your phone, or even webcast, where you can mirror your screen on your iPhone or Android with the Sony radio. So that's about it for this unboxing and demo. If you want to see this radio in action, we're going to be installing this and a 2013 Honda Accord. In that video, we're going to show you how to get it mounted in its factory location. If you want any additional information on this radio, we're going to link it down in the description of the video. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to hit the like button if you liked what you saw, and don't forget to subscribe. Post great content on the channel all the time, and we will see you in the next video.